Stop believing in quick wins. They don't exist. Get them out of your head. Anything of value that you want to build in this life, whether in business, in weightlifting, in skills, anything of true value is going to take a lot of effort, but it's also going to take a lot of time. And this time cost is unavoidable. And it can take a longer time or it can take a shorter time, but it will take time, and certainly more in a couple of months. Because if you want to get to a level where the thing you're building has genuine value, or you're genuinely good at something, that is a certain level of mastery. And mastery takes time. Now, in order to illustrate this, and to give you some context for why I'm saying this and who even am I to claim such things, I'm going to need you to listen to my very, very exciting life story. I'm going to tell you a story. About 2 years ago, I was 1 year from finishing high school. And I started to get a little stressed out about, jobs and work and how I'm going to actually make money. So I weighed out a couple of options and a couple of different career paths that I could take. Thought about the workplaces that I want to work in and the jobs I want to have. And as I was doing all this, I also came up with the second option, which was to start my own business. So then I was kind of comparing the two, safe job versus risky business. And I decided, let's start a business. So then I started thinking about what that business could be. And actually my very first idea was to start a YouTube channel. But starting a channel was hard, and I was always really, really scared to start making videos. So for about a year, I just kind of went back and forth between should I be doing this, should I not be doing this, trying to record some videos, but then not liking those and trying again and all that. I buzzed my head bald at one point to sort of motivate me to finally start recording videos. That did not work. So I was still going back and forth, still being scared, still not really recording videos. And eventually, in December 2022, I came upon my first quick business idea, and that was dropshipping. And I really have no beef with dropshipping as a business model. I think it works fine. The only problem I see is that it's really, really unethical, so I could never do it again. But I kind of tried that, and I gave myself a month to succeed in dropshipping. And I failed for a whole bunch of reasons. First, my product was pretty garbage. It was just a simple Pikachu toy that I thought would sell really well because it was also a lamp, and that's so cool. I was struggling to make the ads, had no budget for real ad spend. So I had to resort to organic, and making organic TikToks for a Pikachu lamp was just soul crushing. But anyway, I failed that business. The 1 month was up and I wasn't having any success yet, so I gave up on it. And in hindsight, I think I could have succeeded, but the essence of dropshipping as a business model is that your first store rarely succeeds. So really the game of dropshipping is just starting stores over and over and over until you hit that jackpot of the perfect product or whatever. But I was arrogant. And I thought my first store was going to crush it and I wasn't going to have to do any more stores after that one because the product was just so amazing. It wasn't. And the store failed. And because I didn't understand that success in dropshipping is a process, I gave up on that. So it was on to a new idea. And with that, we get to the first lesson, which is that it takes time and it takes trial and error to build something that succeeds. And if I wanted to become a successful dropshipper, I would have to embrace that process of starting a store, possibly failing a store, trying another, and eventually succeeding. And that in itself takes months because you're essentially developing your skill and your acuity as a dropshipper, your eye for products, your skills in making better stores. You're building something and you're building towards success, but it takes time. So when I approached dropshipping with this mindset of 1 month and one store and I'm gonna be a millionaire first try, I was pretty much doomed to fail because I couldn't embrace that process. Because I didn't understand that building something and building yourself into something takes time. So anyway, I failed that store because selling Pikachu lamps to children turns out wasn't really my thing. So it was back to the drawing board, and it was back to looking for that one business to break myself financially free. Because the thing is, like I said, when I first started, I was 1 year from finishing high school. And at this point, after the whole YouTube thing and then failing dropshipping, I was right at the point where I was going to go to college in a couple of months. And I really, really didn't want to go to college. So in order to not go to college, I needed money and financial freedom so that I just didn't need to go. So I moved on to the next business, hoping I would start making boatloads of cash in a matter of months. And now it was YouTube again. I was committed, I was determined, I was gonna make this work, and I was gonna be a millionaire in a couple of months. So I tried making videos again, and now I was actually gaining some traction, actually making some, being somewhat satisfied with some of them. And I actually uploaded a couple, which aren't on my channel anymore because I privated them because they weren't that good. But then, a couple of months into it, I realized, oh shit, YouTube is actually going to take a while, because YouTube growth and gathering an audience is a process that takes time. It takes refining yourself as a speaker. It takes refining the topics that you talk about. And that takes a long amount of time. But at that point, like I said, I was pretty desperate for money because time was ticking. I was about to go to college, but I didn't want to go to college, and I needed financial freedom to not go. So I needed to find a business that would get me financial freedom in a few short months. So I decided that I'm gonna start freelancing. I bought a course, which I'm not gonna name because I don't have any bad blood with that course. The value that I got from it was actually good, but still, I'm not gonna name it because I just never put any of that knowledge to work, so I could never really see where that course would take me had I actually used that knowledge. But anyway, I bought a course. I did a whole bunch of modules within that course. And as a side note, I was really, really stupid about it, because all I did for like 2 months or so was just make very, very extensive notes on what was said in the course, but not actually applying any of that knowledge. So that was a really stupid mistake, and you should avoid that. Don't do that. If you're gonna learn something, just put it to work right away. Put it to use. And then I started doing the actual freelancing stuff, which was getting clients and building a portfolio and actually practicing the skill of copywriting, which is what I did. And after a while, I realized that I don't really like freelancing. I didn't really like doing all that because the way I see freelancing is it's basically a glorified job, and my goal was to be a business owner. So it was not necessarily what I was looking for. And that was part of my biggest problem, which is that I didn't want to embrace freelancing. All I wanted was the money. All I did that freelancing for was the money and the financial freedom that I would get in the couple of months that I imagined it would take me. And that is the biggest mistake you could possibly make. Because again, in order to build something, you have to dedicate time into it, and you have to dedicate effort. Put effort into it. And in order to do that, you have to really, really want that thing. You have to want to become that thing, to embrace it as your work, to embrace being a freelancer, or embrace being a YouTuber, or embrace being a musician, because that is what you want to do. You have to want to be doing it in order to make any progress, in order to put in any of that effort and time that it is going to take. But I didn't want to do that. From the very start, I wasn't interested in freelancing. I was only interested in the money that would come from freelancing. And that made it so that when I was actually getting to work, I didn't really want to be doing it. And it's not about discipline, it's not about working hard. This specific problem is about desire. When you don't have a desire for something, you're just not going to do it. You can have a desire for hard things, and that desire is what helps you push through the hard parts of those things, the hard aspects. The desire helps you be disciplined and helps you put in consistently. But that desire has to be genuine, and that desire has to be real. You have to want the whole process, not just the results of that process. But anyway, that's a separate tangent, and I'm getting off topic again. The point is, once again, this quick business that I thought was only going to take me a couple of months failed. After a couple of months, I still wasn't having any results. And just like with dropshipping, if I had actually stayed with the process for the long term and embraced the consistent effort and embraced the time it would take to succeed, I would succeed. But again, the fact of the matter is, it takes time. It takes consistent effort over a prolonged period of time to succeed in anything. And I didn't understand that. And I went into that business looking for nothing but the quick results. Without love for the craft, without passion, without a genuine desire to even be doing the work. And of course, because I wasn't willing to put in the time that is necessary to find success, I didn't succeed. So the lesson is, also as a side note, I took a gap year before college in order to make it with my business. So I know the timeline is a little all over the place. Which, by the way, I recommend doing, because in this 1 year, despite all the failures and despite all the things that went wrong, with all of the freedom that I've had, I actually learned a lot and was able to refine my strategy. And now I'm back in the game. Without the pressure of going to school, I was able to put in a lot of good work on myself. And that's nice. So go ahead and take a gap year. Just don't waste it chasing quick businesses. So back to the point. The lesson is, as you can see from my story, hoping for quick businesses and quick cash and quick profit, it never really works out. Anything of value that you want to build, whether it's dropshipping or freelancing or anything else, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes commitment, it takes committing yourself to the process. It takes embracing the process of months and years of effort in order to build something great and build something of value, because this world rewards you for value. The only way you're gonna get money is by offering something valuable. And really, value in itself is condensed time and effort. So you can have all the effort you could want. Like, I was working intensely, I was working hard, I was working all day, plus working out, plus practicing instruments, plus personal writing, all that other stuff. I was trying to beat the time requirement with intensity. And that partially works, because say you have this much work to get done, it's gonna take you longer if you work less, and it's gonna take you shorter if you work more. So you can kind of beat the time with intensity, but still, the time is required. It's still going to take time, and it's not gonna be months. It might be multiple years. Multiple. And that's like the worst case scenario, depending on what you build. But either way, don't hope for short months. Don't hope for short-term results. Play the long game. Embrace the work for a longer period of time, because it's healthier that way too. It's healthier because you're not crunching as much. Like, you're still working intensely, but you don't feel that much pressure. And also, you're just happier being in a routine and just, doing similar things every single day and making it a part of your life. You have to embrace this as a process. You have to embrace this for what it really is, which is building something of value. And building something of value takes time, because value itself is condensed time and effort that you're then giving or selling to another person. And that's what makes it valuable, because then they don't have to put in that time and effort to get the effects of your own time and effort. That's what makes a good sale. That's what makes something valuable. And you just can't shortcut the process. You can work more and shorten the amount of time needed with intensity, but you can't shortcut the amount of work that it takes. And that amount is pretty big, and it's gonna take some time. So what's the optimal strategy? The best strategy is to embrace something that you can see yourself doing for months and months and years. To embrace a life as a musician, a YouTuber, a programmer. To embrace these beautiful businesses that are grown like a tree with time and care, and not just these low value finicky businesses that end up in you just selling Chinese crap off of AliExpress. Embrace the time, embrace the effort, and embrace the life of being the owner of a business that you'll actually be proud of. Not just something made quickly for a bunch of money, but something that provides genuine value, that people want, that serves people. And that is this labor of love and commitment and genuine care for the craft. So that's the lesson. After 2 years of trial and error, all I've found is that quick businesses don't exist. They're impossible. And all you're really doing chasing them is wasting time. Time that you could have put towards anything else that you would actually want to be doing, that you would actually want to embrace and own up to and say, I made this. I crafted this. I built this. And I'm proud of this. I could have invested that 2 years into anything else. I could have become a professional knitter by this point. Or a professional chef. That'd be pretty cool. But again, it probably takes more than 2 years because being short-sighted when it comes to business, when it comes to skills, when it comes to life, when it comes to your vision, just doesn't pay off. And maybe there is some super secret business that I just never found that takes like 3 months to make tens of thousands of dollars. But this is all I know. Take it or leave it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you don't. I genuinely hope you don't make the same mistake as me. Please. Trust me. I've been there. I've been that motivated, disciplined, tough individual. And I was willing to work very, very hard. But sometimes intensity just can't shortcut the time and the longevity and the long-term commitment. Guys, have a good day. Have a great life. Build something valuable. If you're not interested in business and just build some kind of skill or build some kind of community and build a good life. Really focus on that long-term vision, on those long-term goals that are going to take a little while, but that you are going to be proud of, that are going to make your life absolutely worthwhile, and that are hopefully going to have an impact on the world. Have a great day. My throat is sore from recording for an hour. This is my first video, but I'm in this for the long run because I'd like to believe that I've learned. Let's keep moving forward. Let's crush it. I'll see you guys later.